Welcome back. Part 3. We'll be putting in the rockers today. Don't forget to like, leave comments.
I'm doing it like this. It's just easier than trying to work inside. Okay, time to do some documentation. This top rocker is set up to a 44 centimeter board, and it ends up being 8 5/8 off the center. That's inside, marking from the inside. So I want to write that down so that I can transfer those marks onto the bottom for the corresponding rockers on the bottom. And if I need to, these can line up or they can actually be offset a little bit. And if they're offset, the benefit of offsetting them, if you want to flare out your outside of the board, you can actually cause there to be another rocker that would force the lip of the board down an eighth, 3/16, 5/16, whatever you want, depending on the style of the rider. And that's the one thing about this setup, is it's totally customizable. You can change the rocker pattern, you can change the concave, we can do a lot of things. So that's top rocker, 8 5/8 off center. Okay, that's the wrap. Now I gotta screw the sides on. I have to screw the sides onto the top here. Do these brackets on here. Today we're putting the 2-inch brackets on the bottom now. Okay, we're ready to install the rockers on the bottom. The top ones were at 8 5/8 off of center. That's where we're going to put these two outside ones, and then the middle one will just go in the center, just like that. Okay. Now the next step is, okay, we got the bottom rockers on, and we're going to put the stiffeners just like we did on the other side. These help keep it squared and plumb up. So we're going to install these now. So the plywood doesn't split out when I screw it. Perfect. Now that makes these nice and plumb, square, and it stiffens everything up so there's no twisting and no movement going around. So now I got to figure out how to get that on top of this. Alright, now you can see this space 3/4, oops, I gotta do some adjusting here because this is, it's supposed to be 3/4 of an inch, and this is where the mold's gonna rest, right inside here. And then this will be higher, and that's what's gonna cause the concave. So this will be come up like that, go back down, and that this center one forms a concave. And then the rocker shape gets pressed by these two. There's nothing on the top coming down because you want this to go the concave up, so you don't want to have any resistance there. Well, we're back at it. I've got to put legs on this thing so we can move it around, and I put casters on everything I build because when I have limited amount of space, so I have to move everything around. So we're going to put casters, we're going to build the legs, put casters on them, then install that to the oven and go from there. So the first thing I do is I cut my legs 19.5 to go on top of a 2x4 that's 1.5 inch, and then 3.5 for our casters, which will give me, I want to be able to slide the mold off my laminating table right into the oven, and my laminating table is 30 inches high, so I'm making it, the mold, the mouth of it, right where it slides in on the rockers at 29.5. The other screws, I want to get it as far to the outside so it's stable and makes it easier for me to get it, put the brakes on. So this one's ready to go. Now we're gonna go put them on the oven. Now we have to go put them on the oven. Well, we've got the top lifted off, and now the bottom, I want to put the legs on the bottom. So I've got them clamped in place here. We're going to put a screw from the front and then two in the side here, because we want to miss these two screws that we have in here. Okay, we're just going to repeat that on the other side now. Okay, I've got the legs on the bottom of the oven rocker panel, so now I gotta get it off of the table. Now, we have to slide it under here. But first, I want to put the cross braces on here, and that's where we're going to be the floor for the oven as well, because we're going to have to put heaters down in this lower section. Well, I think I'm going to attempt to put this top on before I put the brace. This is the way you do things when you're working alone. Looks pretty good. Let me take these off in front of you. Maybe just be on the safe side. We're just going to go and do this. Because this is right at 30 inches and this is 30 inches. And I'm going to have to put some guides on the inside so in case it bows in or out. So I'm going to do this just to be on the safe side and let that down. Now we're going to install these guides. We're going to go inside here, and that's going to keep this in line, this plywood in line with this edge so it doesn't go in or come out and fall off the track. So that's what I'm doing now. Okay, that takes care of that. Okay, we've got it all together now. And now I'm going to go back around because when I put this plywood on, this stops the strong back with the rockers on it. It's the stop. Now I have to go inside and check and make sure that the space in between the two rockers is exactly 15/16, because that's the size that my mold's going to be, so that that we have an even pressure on every point. So I'm going to take the camera inside and show you, but the way we do that is we screwed it on first. That's just kind of like a dry fit, and then we come back now to disassemble and check everything, remove the screws, adjust it where it has to be, then we put the screws back in. Let me show you that. See the gap in here? That's just a little too tight at the very... Where's my shim? Okay. See, I can't go back any further in here. Okay. Now when I come over here, I've got a gap. See? So this has got to come down and that's got to go up a little. Okay. So now we're going to put the... I screwed these hinges to this piece of plywood, and you know, when we're ready to put the mold in the oven or take the mold out of the oven, we have to open the oven, and this is how we're going to hold it open. Okay, I'm going to take these blocks out of the way and we'll close the oven. Now you see, the oven's closing and stays in line very nice. So when we want to open the oven, we lift it up, push the hinge in, Go around, push it in on the other side, come back to the front, lift it up, push the hinge in over here. And now your oven is held open while you slide your mold in, and then when you want to close it up, you just lift it up, swing the hinge out, let it down, lift it up, pull the hinge out, let it down, closed. Lift it up, put the hinge in, lift it up, put the hinge down. Nothing to it.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and leave a comment.